Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today we are doing a live tarot collective reading on what's coming next in your love life. Thank you all so much for all of your comments, all of your likes, and all of your love. Okay, so let's look into this. What is coming next? I'm gonna do like an overall current energy first, and then we'll get into it. Just waiting for some people to join. Welcome everybody. Okay. So let's get an overall feel what's going on right now. To make sure that this is your reading and this is a reading that you can resonate with. All right. So currently I do see someone in your life, right? It could be it could have been like things have ended, even though, you know, everything was going well. But the way that this person has been presenting themselves to you kind of has been a lie. So in the beginning, they had promised a lot of things, but they were not able to deliver. Right, so it's almost like, so when I said things have ended, it's almost like the illusion that you have had of this person has ended. You're finally starting to see, you know, the reality of this connection and the potential of this individual. Even though there's a lot of positives in this person, there's still a lot of unspoken hostility on your side a little bit. There's a lot of resentment that's building up because I do see you trying to communicate to this person and trying to, you know, resolve some things, or just trying to like, I guess, to make this person come clean more about how kind of manipulating they were in the beginning, you know, how they had kind of sold you the dream. So you're giving this person a chance and this space to come forward and just explain things, and you know, get some more clarity on where this is heading, and also why did they feel the need to overcompensate in their lives, or just kind of like, you know, painting a different picture for you to make you fall for them, right? And this person, they're not really explaining much. They're just kind of want to enjoy the moment and the connection that you have. They want to enjoy your energy. They like the attention that you give them. You know, they like the way things are right now. They're not really in a rush to explain anything or make things better for you. They're just like, you know, this is how I am. Either take it or leave it. So this is the position that your person is in right now. Take it or leave it. And just overall, like the stance that this person has in this in a current connection is definitely very unkind. You know, they have been very unkind to you, be very dismissive, and kind of like not understanding that they are the ones that had put you in this predicament, and this is why the things are the way they are, right? And it's like instead of helping you navigate and instead of trying to figure things out together, they have decided that, you know, they have done their part. They have won you over. They have your attention now. You know, you are a part of their life. You know, they had that experience with you. So now it's like they're not, it's almost like they're out of experience on how to deal with connection further. They don't know how to deepen the connection. They just only know how to touch the surface stuff. They know how to get someone's attention like they got your attention. They know the things to say and do that will attract attention and will make someone interested in them. However, when it comes down to something that's more deeper, they're not able to resolve the conflict. Right? So just been very unkind. A lot of back and forth between the two of you. And also, you know, they're very judgmental of your reaction towards them. They're not, you know, just able. They're not willing to see things from your side, from your point of view, right? So it's almost like it's all about them, and it's not about you anymore. And you know, that's definitely something that's been weighing heavily on your heart. Okay. So that's the current feel. You know, just someone. You know, for most of you, you're just really in a not the best predicament in your love life, or you want a deeper connection, or you want something better. And so we're gonna look into the future. We're gonna see exactly what's going to happen. Okay. So overall, the energy that I'm getting from you, what you would like for your future to be, definitely, you know, stable family life, someone who's willing to put in work for you, someone who's willing to fight for you, fight for a relationship, someone who's willing to communicate, effectively communicate, healthy communication, who's, you know, giving without having to take first. Because this has been your pattern, you've been overgiving yourself to other people. So in the future, in your love life, you definitely want someone, you know, who gives first and doesn't take, right? And someone who can just create that magical love, excitement, who doesn't, you know, who isn't controlling, all right? You're going to have someone who isn't controlling, and someone who doesn't like sell you the dream. You know, like you have had people in the past try to sell you the dream, try to, you know, lie to you about who they are, who they truly are. And then, you know, once you're in the thick of it, once you are connected to them, or once you have, you know, you're intimate with them, that's when they want to say, like, oh no, this is not what I'm looking for, you know? So someone who's very shifty, that's not gonna be in your love life anymore. Where you're gonna have is someone who's able to be very protective over you and protective of your feelings. Like, even if they have done something to hurt you, um, or that will make come off as, hurting you, they will protect your feelings. All right. What I'm also seeing is, even though for some of you who will still be connected, who will stay connected to your current relationship or connection to your current person, um, you will, have an opportunity to meet someone new, or to at least try with someone new. You will develop a new connection that's going to be healthy. And also, it's you might even, because with this current connection, if there's no commitment, if you're not committed to this person, you're free to go and meet someone else. If your person is not being committed to you, I don't see, if there's no exclusivity, I don't see why not. I don't see why you have to stay loyal and faithful to someone who doesn't treat you correctly, right? Who doesn't treat you right. Um, so when you do meet this new person, when you develop this new connection, your ex by then, or your current person right now, they're gonna be very jealous. Okay, they're gonna try to stop you from leaving. They're gonna try to stop you from leaving, and they're gonna overpromise things again. They're gonna try to win you back over. So anytime you're ready to move on and pull away from something that does not serve you, and if you have tried speaking to your person, if you try to let them know that this is not how I want things to be, you've tried once and once again, and they're just not willing to listen to you, and they're not willing to change, and you have decided to move on. Every time you take a step forward, they will try to pull you back. They're going to try to pull you back with, I also see, like, your current person has a tendency to, um, make you feel guilty. Make you feel guilty for wanting to leave and wanting something better for yourself. They also, your current person likes to, you know, pity them. They get really like needy, and they play on your emotions, and they're like, I can't believe you're gonna leave me. And also for some of you, they're trying to they trying to lower your self-esteem, and just really bring you down. Okay, so I just want you to notice the pattern that every time you try to move away for something better, your person changes just for that short amount. They let you know that, oh yeah, I'm gonna do everything. Excuse me. I'm gonna do everything you want me to, and they do for that short amount, and everything is nice and peachy, and there's love again. They love you again. They're loving on you. They're giving you attention. They're listening to you. Everything is perfect, and you feel better. You feel hopeful, and then it starts again. Back to the old pattern of them pulling away, withdrawing, not paying attention to you, making you feel isolated, controlling you. Just, they're definitely like up and down, and they're not being consistent. And I just want you to recognize that whenever a person is inconsistent, it's not going to change. It only changes for that short amount of time. But you deserve so much better. You deserve for someone to be consistent throughout the whole relationship. So when you have the opportunity to meet someone better, and you will, a new person will come into your life, and I want you to be prepared, because your person, your current person, or whoever you're dealing with at that moment, or even right now, if things are not going well, they're going to try to make you stay. All right? So be ready. I need you to take a chance. Sometimes it's really hard to rebuild a connection. Sometimes it's really hard to meet new people, to try something new. Sometimes we always want to go back to what's familiar. All right? And also, a lot of us don't recognize triggers. So you have some old triggers also in your love life, right? So if a new person comes into your life who's calm, composed, no drama, they will not chase you. They are not expecting you to chase them. They treat you like royalty. They treat you with respect. They listen to you. And you're just going to be like, I'm not interested. It's just too easy, or something is not right. So you also have to recognize that if you're being attracted to toxicity, to someone who puts you through these emotional roller coasters, giving you love and taking it away, right? And if when you're going to meet that person who's consistent, you might not even think, or you might not even be attracted to that person. You might not even be attracted to that person. So, my concern is to make sure that when you do meet this consistent person, because this person is coming into your life because you have been doing the work, and I know you want the best for yourself, and I want the best for you. And when they do come into your life, I want you to recognize the signs of a healthy love. And healthy love, like I've mentioned before, it is steady, no drama, respectful, and etc. And I want you to be ready to accept it into your life, because you do deserve it. Okay? Also, for some of you who are, willing and been thinking about leaving your current connection because it's just been so draining, this is a reminder that you can walk away. No matter how long you've been with that person, if they're not treating you correctly, and sometimes even if there's children involved, there's a lot of history. I do see that some of you will have the courage and the strength to walk away finally, like forever, and to just, be grateful for all of the lessons that this person have taught you, for the experience, the good times and the bad times. You thank them and you leave. And when you do leave, it will be painful. It will be hard. It will be difficult. You will grieve. Some of us may even go back, but you have to keep moving forward, and you have to remind yourself that this is for the better. And, just like keep striving for a better life. Keep striving for better things in life. Don't settle. Don't think that just because it's good enough, that that's necessarily what you need to settle for. All right, let's see. And once again, this is also another confirmation is that a lot of you are ready to, you're tired of carrying the burden by yourself in love. And you're gonna, finally make the choice to have, better love life and healthy love life, right? And, pay attention to your friends, pay attention to people who trust you and their advice because they want the best for you, right? If your friends are against the relationship that you're in right now, most likely it's not because they're jealous, it's because they want the best for you. You gotta really like, and also for some of you, I want you to be able to open up to the friends that you trust, only to the people you trust, about your current feelings and all of the trauma that you're going through right now in your relationships. If you are going through something that's abusive, okay, like verbal abuse, disrespect, domestic violence and everything, there's resources that you can reach out to and that you can talk to people about. Because if you're staying quiet, you're not recognizing that this is abuse, it's only going to get worse and you don't deserve that. It never gets better. There's no need to wait for the person to change. And when you open up to your friends or to someone you trust, like a professional, you give yourself power. You take that person's power away and you gain your power back. Because when you are in an abusive relationship, your power is gone. It's like, they just make you feel very small and they make you feel like you don't matter. They make you feel like what you're going through is normal. Abuse is never normal. So, and I do see some of you are finally getting to that point of being able to leave something that's abusive or, something that you want to have in your life that's way better. You'll have the strength to leave and have someone on your side who will, support you and who will love you and who will help you through all of the life moments, not only the good ones, but also the bad ones. We want to have a partner in our life. We don't want to have someone who's just there for the fun times, right? When you're in a great mood, that's when they want to be around you. But if you're not having so much of a great time, they're like, oh, you figure it out. They abandon you. This is why a lot of us get triggered because we have a fear of abandonment, and they play on that. A lot of people play on that. Just be prepared because the journey on finding healthy love and having being ready for what's next in your love life that's way better than you have right now, it takes time and it takes patience and it takes courage. It's not easy and sometimes you feel like there's no light at the tunnel, but there is. You want to make sure that you make every day of your life special. You're doing something for yourself every day. It could be for your mental health, your physical health, self-care, and etc. Whatever makes you feel better. Um, and then, it really is a waiting game. You have to be patient and just kind of go through everyone and date around to really vet people and get to know them, and every time, if you meet someone, don't jump into it. You have to wait it out. You have to see how people are when they are stressed out, right? Because a lot of people's characters, true characters, come out when they're stressed out. Um, and put yourself first. Put yourself first, always. Make yourself a priority. I will always say that. Guard your heart. Really think about all of the past relationships you have had where you had your heart broken, where the people were a disappointment, when they overpromised and underdelivered. Um, when they bait you with something, when they trigger you with something, and you kind of follow along and you just accept it. You're not, yeah, lesson learned. Yeah, so it's like you want to make sure that you understand these lessons, because the pain sometimes is so painful, so hurtful. The pain sometimes is so overwhelming that we just shut down, and we keep repeating the patterns because number one, it's familiar, so it feels safer. For some people, it feels safer to be in an abusive relationship than in a healthy one. As crazy as it sounds, if you have been exposed to that, you feel safer around someone who is more toxic or abusive, because you know what to expect and you have learned how to navigate. Versus when you're in a healthy relationship, you're like, oh my God, this is new. I I don't know who I am in a healthy relationship. I don't know what to do. But with time, the the more times you expose yourself to healthy love, the more comfortable you become with it. And, this is why you want to make sure you focus on yourself and you give yourself healthy love first. I always say, make sure you speak to yourself compassionately, and hold your boundaries and hold your standards. Um, and you don't have to know what you want right away, but you have to know how you want to be treated, right? How do you want to be treated? And you have every right to tell the other person how you want to be treated. And if the other person doesn't follow the suit, if they don't respect your honors and your wishes, especially when it's basic things like respect, and affection, understanding, effective communication, if they're not able to give you that, they're not for you. They're not. That's not your person. You don't want to get caught up in it. And then next thing you know, you're 70 years old and it's already too late. People just give up at a certain point, and they have been stuck in relationships that are just so detrimental to their health, and they never had a chance to be loved properly. It's a really sad thing. So, don't make it a tomorrow, make it a today. Make today the day that you end toxic relationships. You work on yourself, you put yourself first. Um, self-reflect and etc. to make sure that when healthy love comes your way, you are ready. All right, so I'm gonna go into like a bit of a wrapping up this session. You know, just a reminder right now for those of you who are having a hard time in love life, um, or you know something is just not clicking for you, or there's a lot of questions that you may have, or a lot of disappointment. You gotta understand that that's a wake up call for you. That means that you're not doing something correctly. That means that you're accepting people who treat you like shit, that you don't deserve. And I don't want you to do that. So if you're feeling badly when you are in a connection with someone, if you're drained, your energy is low, something is not working, it's time to leave, you know? And also it's time to start recognizing the signs. And next time I can do more of a reading of you know, signs of toxic relationships and etc. But I just want you to know, like, a lot of people are questioning why good things are not happening to them, why only bad things happening to them, why do they end up in toxic relationships, or why do they end up with people who don't respect them. Once again, this is a wake-up call. That means that the people you're choosing are not right for you. That means that you're not able to pick the right people, so you have to learn how to pick the right type of person in your life. You know, you have to learn what's a healthy person versus unhealthy, and etc. And then you also want to take your time when you're getting to know people and remembering that there's no one out there like you. No one was, no one ever will be. You're special, you're unique, you're perfect the way you are. There's nothing you need to change about yourself to be able to have love in your life. You don't need to earn love, or you know, love is given. All right, love is given to you just like that, just because you are, just because you exist. And then at the end of it all, you could have a happy ending. You could have a happy ending, and it's all dependent on you. It all depends on you. Your decisions, your thoughts, your behaviors. Um, you know, every day just one step closer to healthy love. All right, it's all up to you. But it will happen in the end. It will happen. Happy ending. See it right here. Okay. All right. Well, that is all, guys. I hope you all have enjoyed it. It was a great pleasure to be of service to you all. And I will see you next time. Thank you all so much for your comments and your participation. And I hope you all have a great day. Bye.